Vladimir Putin's merchant of death is back. We are talking about Viktor Bout. He is a Russian arms dealer. And before you start scratching your heads, let me tell you why he is called the merchant of death. Well, because of his vast operations and extensive clientele. Almost 2 years ago, he walked out of a US jail in a trade with Russia for US basketball star Brittany Griner. Today, he is back in business and allegedly trying to broker the sale of arms to the Houthi rebels. You heard that right. According to the Wall Street Journal, Putin's merchant of death is back in the arms business and is reportedly arming the Houthis amid the Israel-Gaza war. And here's what else you need to know. Viktor Bout is 57 years old. His life apparently inspired the 2005 Hollywood movie called Lord of War, starring Nicolas Cage. Let that sink in. As an arms dealer, Bout has reportedly spent decades selling Soviet-made weapons in Africa, South America, West Asia. In the year 2008, he was arrested in a US law enforcement sting operation. Since his release almost 2 years ago, Bout has joined a pro-Kremlin far-right party. And in 2023, he won a seat in a local assembly. And it looked like his arms broker days were behind him. Not for long, though. In August this year, Houthi emissaries reportedly went to Russia's capital, Moscow, in order to negotiate the purchase of $10 million worth of automatic weapons. In Moscow, they encountered a familiar face. They say that they saw Viktor Bout. The report also cites European security officials and other people familiar with the matter. So, what do we know about the potential arms transfer? The arms deal that Bout was said to have been brokering was with two Houthi representatives. They had reportedly traveled to Moscow under the cover of buying pesticides and vehicles, and it wasn't clear if the deal was being negotiated at the Kremlin's behest or merely with its tacit approval. According to the report, the first two deliveries will be mostly AK-74s, an upgraded version of the AK-47 assault rifle. But during the trip, the Houthis reportedly also discussed other Russian weapons that might potentially sell, including Cornet anti-tank missiles and anti-aircraft weapons. The report says that the deliveries could start as early as October to the port of Hodeidah. It could reportedly come under the cover of food supplies, where Russia has already carried out several grain deliveries. But it looks like it's yet to be delivered to the Houthis. The arms transfer reportedly stops short of the sale of Russian anti-ship or anti-air missiles. If these weapons fall into Houthi hands, they could pose a significant threat to the US efforts to protect Red Sea shipping from Houthis. Remember, since last November, Houthi rebels have been launching attacks on international shipping near Yemen. They claim to be targeting Israeli and Western-linked shipping to show their solidarity with the Palestinians affected by Israel's actions in Gaza. There has also been speculation about where the Houthis actually get such advanced weapons from. The Biden administration is concerned that Russia may be supplying these non-state actors with advanced weapons as a form of retaliation for America's support of Ukraine. However, there is currently no evidence to support these claims. In fact, on Monday, the Kremlin dismissed the report as fake.
Материал этот видели, но скорее мы склоняемся к тому, чтобы отнести это к категории фейков или попыток информационных нападок на наших народных избранников.
Still, even if there is a small arms shipment to the Houthis, Washington would be opposed to it. America has, in fact, designated the Yemen-based group as terrorists, and if the reports are true, arming a belligerent amid the West Asia conflict would also mark an escalation for Russia. The West is concerned about the fact that Russia has been strengthening security ties with Iran. Russia has generally stayed away from the confrontation between Israel and its Iran-backed enemies. Steve Zissou, the attorney who represented Viktor Bout in the US, declined to comment on whether his client had met with the Houthis, but he said that if the Russian government had in fact authorized him to facilitate the transfer of arms to one of America's adversaries, It would be no different than the US government sending arms and weapons of mass destruction to Russia's adversary in Ukraine. After being released from prison, Victor Bout has frequently appeared on Russian television as a commentator, discussing Russian politics and criticizing the US, which he claims is determined to dismantle Russia. Not just that, he's also been occasionally cited in the Russian media as an expert in the weapons trade. Just to sum this up, during wartime, it's difficult to discern who is telling the truth, who is spreading falsehood, but what is certain is that Putin's merchant of death is back. And that, you see, cannot be good news for Russia's adversaries. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.